Hey, and welcome to Turo Fitness Podcast, a podcast for people who want to get no BS information about fitness and know that fitness is about so much more than losing scale weight. It's about feeling confident in your skin and empowered in your life. I'm your host, Turo Virta, personal trainer, strength and nutrition coach, and most of all, a husband of my beautiful wife, Miriam. Each week, my guests and me will give you some no BS fitness tips and motivate you to take action in your own personal fitness journey as we talk about nutrition, exercise, mindset, personal development, and executing in life with enjoyable but still effective strategies. If your goal is to look better, feel and be strong and experience transformation from inside out, you, my friend, are in the right place. Thank you for jumping in, and now let's jump into today's episode.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Turo Fitness Podcast. I'm Turo Virta, I'm your host, and today we are diving into a topic that has been a part of my own life and probably yours too, alcohol. So a little backstory, I grew up watching my dad have his daily small drink or alcohol every single evening. And in my 20s, I was out every weekend and drinking like many of us do at that age. But these days that have shifted, and I still occasionally drink some alcohol, but and it's most likely beer, and it's more for like social event for me, and but it's not big part of my lifestyle anymore. And what is interesting is how much the science on alcohol has changed over the years, and how many times also me had to change my opinion. So for a long time, we have heard things like a glass of red wine is good for your heart, or a few drinks are no big deal. But new research is showing something very different, that even small amounts of alcohol can impact your health, from your heart and your brain to risk certain cancers. So what science is telling at the moment, there is no safe amount of alcohol. So not even a little bit. So in this episode, I want to unpack what the latest science actually says, how alcohol affects to your body, and how you can decide for yourself what kind of relationship with alcohol makes sense for your health and your goals. My goal isn't to shame anyone. I still enjoy a drink once in a while, but to give you the perspective and tools to be more intentional. So let's get started. So like I said, my own relationship, I grew up in a family where my dad had a habit to drink glass of beer or couple beers, and he had a weird habit he added, because the beer I grew up in Finland, and in Finland I feel like that there is people are using a lot more alcohol than now, comparing now when I live in Italy. In Italy, it's like kind of a social thing, and people, you don't hear or see people that they are drinking home alone. And if I think back home in Finland, it's still like my best friends, they still tell stories how they drink home alone. And I have to admit, I grew up from Finland, and this is kind of same thing. It's still sometimes part of my journey. Earlier, it was a lot worse. But now, let's say last decade, I have to say that drinking alone, it's more like a social event at this point. And in back home, I feel like it has something to do with that kind of depression, better daylight. When you are living in northern countries, there is a less daylight, and it's weather is not as great as it is in Italy. And many people are using alcohol to get out of their depressions, kind of that emotional well-being. And it was, at least for me, it was feeling like that I deserve something good for myself too, after a hard day of work, or after a hard week of work. It was only on the weekends, and it was kind of rewarding myself for something. And now, if I think that how much everything have changed. So, and of course, like in my 20s, that was, I can't remember a weekend that I didn't go out. It was every single weekend. And usually not even only one day, it was maybe 2, 3 days, and going out, having a fun. And now, if I think like that, it was at the time, it was talking myself out of it. I said that at the time, of course, science, like I said, was totally different. It said that, this is there is a safe amount. I can't remember. Was it like a 20 beers or different, like that? It was okay. And I never wanted to commit to myself that I have some kind of problem. And there is a science have changed so much, because it was earlier, like if you think that what is what is what was the safe amount, it was like 1.5 liters of wine, or less than 3.5 liters of beer per week. And that was kind of moderate or light use. And now what science is saying, that actually there is not single amount what is actually safe. But I will get a little bit later back on what the science is saying. And now in the beginning, I want to talk a little bit about my own story, how I grew up, and how it was affecting me, because it's those are things that they reflect. I look back, and when I remember from my childhood, my dad was drinking every day, and I thought that this is kind of a normal thing. And it's part of the thing. Like, of course, at some points, like my dad might got, he was never really like a drunk or anything, but or maybe a little bit, or I didn't recognize it because maybe he didn't talk that much. But I just remember him vividly drinking every single day his beer with added some kind of vodka or other like a spirit to make it kind of stronger. That was like a, for me, it was a gross thing. I could never. That was tasting. It was not enjoyment. It was like that. I can't imagine to drink it, and but that is my own thing, and that was my dad's way of getting rid of. And he never like most of the alcoholics. Like for me, that is an alcoholism. And but of course, like for my dad, he talked himself out of it. That he never missed a day in a work. He could get things what you are able to do or what you should be doing, so he didn't have to stay away from a work or something. And that's when I talk with my friends, like they kind of reflect is that I get my work done. I'm there for my family. You are doing everything what you're supposed to be doing. And but the feeling what they are having, when I talk with the friends, they say that you are kind of like in a fog. It makes just such a big impact how you are feeling. And for me also, like it was, if I think quality of life, I thought that this is something what I really needed. And it was kind of waiting for a weekend that you can finally go out, have a couple drinks because you deserve it. It was a thing to socialize, go out, have fun. And of course, now if I think back, do I regret it? No, I don't regret things what I have done. Would I do things differently with the knowledge I have now? Probably yes, but too much, probably not, because I think it's at that age. If I think back, those are still the best memories what you have had with my friends in at that age, going out, having laughs, and it's that relationship with alcohol. It's not black and white, that it's either bad or good. There are benefits, but there are also something what you probably want to consider and think. So this is a little bit about my own thoughts, my own history, my family history, and how it has changed over time. And it's not, like I said at the moment I'm still occasionally drinking something, but I was just looking like now. It's not earlier. It was like my relationship was that I thought that I was doing well, or I didn't drink. I had to really like a kind of set some challenges that I'm without alcohol now for 1 weekend or 2 weeks or whatever. But I was never a big believer of having like a dry January or something. My dad usually said that, he used to love those things. And he did it always that, he don't have a problem. He can be 1 month without or 1.5 months. But then when ultimately he always got back into his habits, and that is something like I said that it's not gonna work. Like if you have a willpower, you can do anything for a short period of time, but is it really helping for you something? I don't believe. I have tried in my life being without sugar, being without alcohol, but what you really learn from these challenges, of course, they help in a short term. They make you feel amazing, but what happens after your challenge is over, you are stopping it. It's you will get back into your old habits, and it doesn't really change. So there have to be, in my opinion, something deeper happening. So that's why now I don't even recognize that. I was just looking back that in whole month of July, I think I had 2 alcoholic beverages in whole month. And I didn't even, that was not purpose. It just happened. It was just that there was no social situations that would include alcohol. And I wasn't even missing it. And I just realized it. And when I started to talk with my wife about it, and I said, wow, that is basically, I think for a long time, and especially during the summer, having that kind of period almost without alcohol, it's I think I have never had it, and but it was not purpose of doing it. It just kind of happened, and that how that culture have changed, and now if you look what science is telling, like for example on cancer. So there is a huge change. What says that if you look what for example World Health Organization, they said that there is a newest studies what are telling that around half of all cancers that are like related with alcohol, like breast cancers in women, and all kind of cancers like bowel cancer, which are most common cancers. Ethanol is causing those cancers, and you could actually the most like over half of those cancers are caused by light and moderate alcohol consumption. So what is that light or moderate alcohol consumption? It's less than 1.5 liters of wine or less than 3.5 liters of beer. And I can link a study from World Health Organization in the show notes, so you can actually, it's a quick read. It's not the full study, but just interesting, like a 2-minute read or 3-minute read, reading time. So it's a short, if you want to look what current science is telling, that this is from 2023. So this have changed so much, because it was in the past, it was like just that until you stay within light or moderate use, you will be okay. There is no, it's safe, and it's everything is okay. But this have changed so much lately, and that if you think that what is drinking trends at the moment. So it has dropped. For example, in US, it has dropped. It hasn't been in 90 years so low as it's now, and it has. There is only 54% of adults who are drinking. So it has changed a lot. And even now, if you looked at how opinions have changed, like it was earlier was like that moderate drinking is okay, but now already more than half people believe that even moderate drinking is harmful. So that have changed a lot, and it is what science is saying, that even moderate or light drinking, there is not such amount than a safe use of alcohol. There is no, every single drop is have potentially going to impact on your health and everything. So if you think that there is like it's fine. I'm not, like I said, that I'm not telling you that you should or you can drink. It's just to be more intentional of choices what you make, how often and how much you are drinking. So these are if you are interested to reduce your cancer risks or those things, you should probably like consider giving up or reducing alcohol. Giving up, like I said, giving up completely. At least for me, it's something that I haven't thought about it, or I'm not planning to do at this point. Maybe it's coming at some point without any pressure that it might that I don't need. But because there is so many, like if you think like how many cancers, like breast cancer, mouth cancer, throat, liver, and all other cancers which are related with alcohol use. So even plus other effects, like even few drinks per month can raise your blood pressure and alter your health rhythm, and especially for your sleep, how it's impacting to your sleep. So this was for me, it's it is such a big game changer, or it was when I started to track actually my sleep and learning those patterns, what I have in my life. Like, of course, the goal is never be perfect all the time, but at least to be aware what it does. Because earlier I used to believe that, I sleep better when I drink alcohol, or alcohol doesn't impact on my sleep. You might not feel it on next day, but if you look what it actually does to your heart and to your sleep quality, there is a huge change. So it's like for my resting heartbeat, if I drink 1 or 2, it might be 3 or 4 beats per minute higher than on average. If it's more, then it's like a 10 beats higher than usually, of course, and that is impacting my recovery, how I feel next day. Even I will often like, especially if you drink more, and if I was, when I was used to do it, it didn't have so big impact. But now when I think that if I have 1 or 2, at least I know that my sleep is gonna suck. I will feel more tired. I probably won't be the best possible version of myself next day, 2 days after, 3 days after, depending, of course, how much you are having. But it's, on the other hand, there is always that social effect. And but my question is also for myself, that do I really need it? Is it really necessary? So those are effects and health risks, and do not forget like a brain health. How is that? What studies are telling, like that even low to moderate intake is linked with the decreased gray matter and brain volume. So there are so many different studies that there is no safe amount of alcohol. So this is really interesting to actually read these things and see what is actually happening, and then thinking your own choices, decisions you make, that is it really worth of it? Is it like, 'cause at least for me, sometimes it feels like that now I really need it, but it's when I look and ask these questions from myself, is it really like that need of alcohol is, or could I be doing something else instead of alcohol? Could there be something else that would help me to feel better about myself, relieve that stress or things like, because alcohol, it's really not helping in those things. In short term, it might help, yes, but in the long term, you only make things worse for yourself. So if you think like that, because there is that kind of conflicting and findings, because earlier some older studies suggested that light drinking might actually lower mortality or heart disease risk, but those often involved like a healthier, more affluent people. And if you think like that kind of studies, like if you are healthier, what is actually happening is that most likely like your nutrition is going to be a bit better. You are maybe having more time for yourself to exercise. You prioritize it, as you don't need to shuffle between 3 works and family and everything. So there is not such a thing than just a moderate or light drinking without any or impacting. So those were older studies, and they are not really trustable anymore. And as if you think like the latest reports, like 2024 shows that the daily drinking, even within those moderate or light limits, increases death risks, starting just at 7 drinks per week. So there is no safe level of alcohol anymore. So that is really I can put some studies, like there is cancer risk reports. So like how it's you can find it from Wikipedia, for example. There is a mortality and guidelines, and if you think like those all like how it's affecting to your heart and brain, and there is really so many studies lately that there is no safe amount of alcohol. And why this then matters for you? So think it your everyday life, like hangover, like if you are having hangover, you are not able to, you might be able to, like my dad always used to say that, you are able to perform, do your job. You are not missing your work. You might be able to take care of your family. But the thing is that you are not going to recover. Because if I know that if I have some alcoholic beverages, my recovery will suck. I won't be like, I might be still, or now I'm that smart that I'm not anymore practicing, but I remember vividly in my 20s, that was a way of punishing myself or my friends. Like when we went out the next day, you went for practicing or running or something. So you thought that you can actually burn that alcohol off. And by the way, if you didn't know, there is no way that you can speed up alcohol going away from your body. So sweating or something, it doesn't remove, your body doesn't remove it faster, and it slows down your recovery. Why is that happening? Because it's the poison what your body needs to remove first. So all your body uses that energy to remove that alcohol first from your body before it starts that recovery. So those are it impacts just such a big way. Also, like if you think that you want to be successful, those are your habits and long-term energy. Like I said, it's always that battle in your head. At least it was for me. Thinking like that short-term relief or long-term energy and success. So it's not easy choice, but making those decisions, thinking at this moment how I'm going to feel, like more you think about or more I think about that short-term wins, of course that it's tempting option, but if you think like long-term benefits or effects, it's more you are able to think in long-term how it's going to feel if I decide today to have that 1 or 2 drinks. Is it going to be beneficial in a long term? And more often than not, the answer is no. Of course, sometimes it's a social thing, it's a part of the journey, but just trying to be more intentional what you're doing. So this is what I suggest or challenge you if you are listening this, that think it this way, that, or what I try to do is drinking occasionally. So there is it's not that it's only one day or something. Keep it only social. Like for me, rule that home alone, I don't have any alcoholic beverages at home. So if I use alcohol, it's only in social situations, and at home, that's a big no-go. So it's not, and that is, I think, for me, it's the biggest change between Italy, where people are more social drinking. I feel like that they are doing it more than, for example, in Finland. Finland is a way that you are drinking those kind of small amounts home by yourself alone, and especially like older you get, it's not like that you might have a family, everything. Those occasional going out, it's not as it used to be, so you don't have chances. So you think, now when I'm home alone, or I'm at home, I don't go out. So that's being like kind of okay. But when you are informed, what kind of is it worth of it to increase all these risks, everything? And like for my dad, like if I go back to his story, like I don't know if you have listened and my podcasts, I have talked about him earlier. He lost his health, unfortunately, at the age of 60. And if I think now that you can call it, it's a bad luck, it's whatever you call it, but getting cancer, suffering from several health issues, only age of 60. And for me, that kind of habits, I have also some close family members who also died at very young age for cancers. And when I think like that, I'm now 43, do I want to have like that I have maybe 15 years left? Maybe it's if everything goes well, do I want to have that it is maybe I have 25 years left? It feels like that, holy shit, that is not a lot of time. And I want to do everything I can. And that is kind of my own motive, own reminder that I take a picture of my dad. And when I think that, do I really need it? Do I want to have the same destiny than my dad had? And of course, it wasn't like that. You can call it bad luck, but if you think your actions, you have so many risk elements there, like not eating very healthy, not exercising, drinking alcohol daily, even not big amounts, but that is actually, you put yourself into a so big risk. And then he lost his life at the age of 70, with last 10 years basically not having at all life quality. Because for me, what matters, it's not only about having that life quality or being able to age long, but it's also being able to do things you enjoy doing as long as possible. So this is my own perspective, what I think, that what is my thing, and I still try to ask myself a question. Like, it's not every time working, but at least when I'm home alone, that I'm asking that, is it worth of it? Do I really need it? And then if at some point, if I wait, I ask a couple of things, I'm more intentional about it. Sometimes answer is yes. And that is, I still need it. I still have my drink after a sauna or something. But now there is so many alcohol-free beverages. You can have beer, what I enjoy drinking, and I have been lately drinking only alcohol-free beer because do I really need that alcohol for even it's a small amount? Not really. I get the same satisfaction when I don't have that alcohol therein. So it's being informed and intentional. So think it yourself when you are making these decisions. How do I feel physically and mentally after even a drink? Does it make that big difference? Could I be changing that for alcohol-free beverages? And think what kind of impacts in the long term? Like, because if you like, I have been lucky to work with the several clients who had this kind of like daily habit, or let's say that it's maybe not every single day, but several times a week habit, and going after work for a drink, or maybe it's a social thing with the working colleagues, or coming home having a drink by yourself. And when I said that, challenge yourself, try it for a month. And if you can't imagine to be 1 month without alcohol, we have a problem. And then after that, once you have at least tried it, you give yourself self a chance that you can go always back. So, because for me, all these kind of things that I will never ever drink, like I can't remember how many times I have said that sentence to myself after a long night out or long weekend out, feeling so bad in hangovers that I will never ever drink again until next weekend comes or week after. So maybe there is again chance to go out, and then of course I changed my opinion and forgot already what have happened earlier. But that is a question what you can ask yourself, and think like, try it, and then I challenge you to try it, and then after that you can make a decision that how you want to continue. Do you really need it? And if the answer is yes, then go for it, go back to it. But at least you are more aware, you are more intentional, and then you can make reflect on your energy levels, recovery, sleep. So there are so many resources available, like studies, and I will add some studies in the show notes, and that's then you can start making more intentional decisions. So that's wrap for today's episode. So we covered a lot, from my own experiences with alcohol to the latest studies showing that even small amounts can affect things like cancer risk, blood pressure, and brain health. The big takeaway: there is no need to panic or feel guilty if you enjoy a drink now and then. What matters is that awareness, intention, and asking yourself, how does alcohol make me feel, both short term and long term? For me, drinking occasionally and socially works. For you, it might mean cutting back, taking breaks, or even removing it completely. There is no one size fits all rule, just choices that either move you closer to your health goals or away from them. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with a friend who might need to hear it. And if you are ready to build sustainable fitness and nutrition habits without the guilt and confusion, check out my coaching options at personaltrainerturo.com. Thanks so much for listening, and remember, you are not broken, you are just getting started. I'll catch you in the next episode.
Hold up, friend. Do you love Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast? If so, the best way to say thank you is to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review on iTunes. I know every podcaster wants you to leave a review, but it's because those reviews help the podcast to reach more people. I truly want to know what you think, and if this particular episode resonated with you, would you also please share it? Either send a link to someone who you think will find it valuable, or take a screenshot and post it into your social media and tell your friends and family why they should listen it. Make sure you tag me so I can hear your feedback and give you a little love. And if you aren't already following me on Instagram or TikTok, that's the perfect time to hit that follow button. Thank you for being here and listening to Fit Me Turo Fitness podcast.